Yo, 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 how you doing? Welcome to a day in the life of an inventory flipper. And what we're going to do this week is we're going to show you what we're up to in my office where I buy and sell surplus and liquidation inventory, all without touching, seeing or holding any stock whatsoever. Okay, I have no warehouse, I've got no employees, I never get stuck with any stock, I never see anything I buy and sell, I never touch anything I buy and sell, I never hold anything I buy and sell. Everything is done virtually. Okay, it's all virtual these days. Obviously it's physical goods that we're moving from one company to another, but we are not touching or seeing or holding anything whatsoever, guys. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some deals that I'm working on. I'm going to go through some samples that have been sent through this week. I think what I'm going to do is each week I'm going to do it sort of the back end of the week, because obviously through the week I get posted samples. And then, so what I can do is I can actually show you, go through some of the samples that I get offered, some of the deals that I get offered, and just talk you through those deals that I'm working on. You know, my pipeline of offers that I'm working on. I'll tell you about, you know, some of the deals that I've done this week and how much money I've made and how I actually did those deals. So basically what I'm doing as usual, what I do each day like clockwork, is I am reaching out to a lot of suppliers, okay, using like various methods. I'm emailing companies each day, you know, in bulk, and I'm making posts on LinkedIn, and I'm getting offered inventory on LinkedIn. Now, the emails that I send out are very, very non-specific. Like, I'm not really targeting specific types of companies, but they're all companies who deal in physical products. So I could be emailing a brand new list of companies, so it's a completely cold email, or I could be emailing maybe a list of companies from trade shows. I could be emailing companies who have actually offered me stock in the past, so they already know me, they've already offered me stock before. I could be emailing a list of people who I'm connected to on LinkedIn. I could be emailing companies who deal in retail products. But as I say, very non-specific. I'm not really targeting something specific that I'm looking for. I'm very, very general and mixed when I email companies. You know, I'll email a very, very wide range of companies across lots of different industries. I'm not really aiming to, like, email specific product categories or companies. It's literally just what comes up on my calendar. And I just know that it's now time to email that list of companies again. So what I'm doing each day is I'm emailing lots of different companies, a very, very, very wide range of companies. Because what I like is when I start receiving surplus stock offers, when the offers start coming through, I like to get a very, very mixed range of offers coming through all the time. I don't like where it's just very focused maybe on just retail products, for example. I like getting a very, very wide variety of offers coming through. Very, very mixed bag of offers all the time. That's what I like. I like a very, 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 very wide variety of offers coming through. You know, industrial products, retail products, non-retail products. Like, just a very, very mixed bag. It just makes it more interesting as well, because when I get offers through, it just keeps me very motivated. when I've just got a very, very mixed range of stuff coming through all the time. So what I'm going to do now is, guys, I'm going to go through like 6, 7, 8 different samples that I've been sent this week on deals that I've been offered. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically saying to this company that's offered me some stock, can you send me a sample? Like, I just want to see it close up in my hand. Sometimes you get emailed stock from companies, and you're looking at photos on the computer. Sometimes it's just not the same as actually looking at it close up. And I like sometimes inspecting samples closer. I like to read read what's on the packaging, and just maybe, if it's a food product, I might just want to taste it and check that it's okay. Or I just want to in my hand. I like having samples in my hand. Not with everything. Sometimes I can get emailed a product, I can forward it straight to a buyer contact and just work on that deal without even seeing a sample. But sometimes I get samples. Now, another big reason why I get samples is because when I get offered that stock, when I'm working on that deal, I like to, what I call, buy some time. I like to buy some time from me getting offered that stock to me trying to find a buyer for that stock. I like to buy a bit of time, meaning when I've asked for a sample, which I won't do straight away, I might leave it a few days, maybe a day or two after I've been offered the stock, I might say, can you send me a sample? So that's another couple of days, okay? So I've got like basically 3 or 4 days breathing space while I'm trying to find an actual buyer for that stock. And it's a good tactic as well, guys, because you're just buying a bit of time from the day that you're getting offered that inventory. So, for example, if I was offered a deal on Monday, by the time I ask them for a sample and then receive that sample, it might be Thursday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. I've basically allowed myself a bit of time there to create some interest, finding an actual buyer, an actual interested buyer. And that's good because it means that by the time I get that sample, if I get some interest by the time I receive that sample, I can then go back to the supplier and say, I've got the sample, thank you very much. And now, at that point, I know I've already got a buyer interested. And we can start talking about the prices. And I can get into a conversation with the buyer on price, with the seller on price. And I'm doing all this communication, I'm doing online. I'm doing it on email, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn Messenger. So all virtual. It's all online, virtual, okay? So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to show you some samples. And first one I'm going to show is an actual deal that I actually did and completed. It was completed this week and delivered. Now, this deal was some gloves, okay? Nitrile gloves, which is, it's very in demand product at the moment. There was about 3,400 boxes of these. Now, how I did this deal was, although it was in demand, it was actually not an easy thing finding a buyer because there's actually quite a lot of stock of these in the UK at the moment. So the strategy with this deal was that there was actually 2 middlemen in this deal. So it was a chain of 4 companies. Okay, let me explain. So there was the seller of the goods, the direct seller of the goods, okay, that owned the goods, who offered me this stock. I found a middleman who is actually a friend and a colleague of mine, Marshall. He had his own buyer connections. So what I was doing, I was putting it out to him because I knew he's quite involved in the medical product business, and I knew that he actually had some good connections. So he found a he found a buyer for the stock, a direct buyer. So how this looked was, there was us two in the middle. We're the two middlemen, and on either side were the seller of the goods and the final buyer of the goods. So basically, you know, there was us two middlemen and the seller and the buyer. So there were 4 companies in that chain in the deal. 4 companies in total. Very, very normal in our business. It's just very normal to have that kind of situation in our business to get a deal over the line. Sometimes it might require more than one middleman. So I'm a middleman, but I found another middleman to find the buyer. Does that make sense? So I was the middleman who found the goods. I sourced those goods, but I used a middleman to actually find a buyer for those goods as well. So us two, we made 1,700 something pounds, just over 1,700 pounds. It's about $2,400 each, okay, on the deal. So there were us two middlemen. We made the money on that deal, and that was the deal we did on that stock. So that's a very typical example of a deal where just because you haven't got a buyer yourself, you can actually find someone who can find a buyer, okay? You're using someone else for their network of buyer connections. You're accessing other buyer connections through that one contact that you have. That is a really, really useful and great technique in our business, especially when it's a deal where you just can't find a buyer. And, you know, sometimes you just got to use a broker or a middleman who has their own network of buyer contacts that you don't know, okay? So all you're doing is you're just accessing someone else's list of buyers. That's all you're doing. And then you're giving them a cut. And so the fairest way is we just cut it in half, the profit. And that was it. And by the way, big shout out to Roman, who's done 4 figures this week. One of my students, Roman's done 4 figures this week. We did a deal completed, and he did his own deal and on some pet food, and made some 4-figure finder's fees this week. Fantastic, brilliant. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you some samples of deals that I'm working on and deals that I've got in the pipeline at the moment. This is just a very small a small selection, because, you know, most deals that I'm working on, I don't get samples. So I've got a lot of deals sort of on the go, you know, 20 to 30 deals, apart from these where I haven't got samples. And it's certain things that you can't really get samples, because it might be stuff like chemicals. It might be just big bulk products that you can't exactly get a sample of it, you know. But yeah, it's so here's one that I've been offered. It's a 50 pack of bin liners. A great product because, number one, it's what we call a consumable. It's a product that people use and repurchase, you know. So that's what they call a consumable, where you use something and then you keep buying more of it each time. It's always going to sell, and you're always going to find buyers for it as well. Obviously, if we can buy it at the right price. But this is a nice heavy-duty 50 pack of bin liners. This was actually produced for the NHS medical service in the UK. So hopefully we're going to try and do a deal on those. Then being offered some of this crazy little thing, a Minion. Kevin the Minion. It's from that film, what is it, Despicable Me. So what this is, it's basically a mic. you warm it up in the microwave. It's like a kid's product that they can cuddle on a night, you know, and it keeps them warm. So it's got like little rice or beads inside or something, I'm not sure, but they heat up basically. So it's like a heatable soft toy. This is a mad one because basically at the moment, I know I've got buyers for it, but the buyers basically that I've got are offering me quite a low price, lower than what I can buy it for at the moment. But I've already got the buyer down on price about 5 times in the last few weeks. So the price started at about, I think it was £2, and then it went down to £1.50, then £1.25, and then about £1, and then this week they came down to 85 pence, and then today they've come down to 65 pence. But I need to be buying this at under 50 pence, even though I'm told it retails at £15. I think £12 or £15. You know, it's one of those crazy high retail prices. But anyway, so I'm going to move fast because I've got quite a lot to go through. Here's one which is a breakfast cereal topping. Now this one is a tricky one because what they've actually got is the packaging. It's not the finished product. So what they're offering to do basically is they're saying, we've got the packaging and we can fill the packaging and turn it into a finished retail product, and this is the price. Well, at the moment the price that they want is too high. The difficulty with buying, you know, doing deals on where they've got the packaging and they're offering to fill the packaging and make it into a finished retail product, especially with food, is that obviously when they pack this off, it's going to be a fresh, full expiry date retail product. So with it being a fresh product, it's going to be quite hard buying it at a surplus or clearance price. So that's going to be a tough nut to crack. It's going to be a tough deal to do. Here's one that basically I'm going back on, and you know, this is one that, you know, Roman did a deal this week on an old deal that he went back on, and this is one that I'm working on at the minute. I was offered this deal of chewing gum about 3 months ago. The guy contacted me again. He says, look, I've still got the stock, and I actually threw a really low offer at him yesterday, and he said, let me sleep on it, I'll have a think about it. And, you know, I know that I can probably do something with it at that low price that I paid. Haven't bought. I've been offered these, some nice toiletry product, beauty products, sorry. Tea tree beauty products, really nice products. Working on those in the UK. I've been offered these, some coffee shots, little sachets of like a coffee energy shot. Crazy little thing. I've been offered these, some gardeners first aid kit, which is a great time of the year for that type of thing. I've been offered some gloves, some workwear gloves, which is always a good product, some workwear gloves. And I actually did a deal on Monday on some biscuits, you know, those stroopwafel biscuits. They're like, I've seen them in Holland. They're like you know, crisscross with caramel inside, and it's like a 2-pack on a hanging strip. We bought 25,000 packs of those. It's a biscuit product. You don't earn a lot of money on biscuit products, okay? The deal will probably get me. Guys, I'm working on lots of different deals. Very, very mixed bag. Very mixed bag of deals. And I'm always looking at different options where, you know, what if I can't find a buyer? If I can't find a buyer, I'm going to find a middleman or a broker who might have access to a buyer. Because that's better than not doing the deal at all. You know, I'd rather make some money on a deal rather than just walk away from that deal. So, you know, I'm working on my own deals. I'm working on some of my students' deals. I'm pushing offers out. I'm getting offers in, which I'm processing. And I'm doing things at speed all the time, and this is what I'm teaching guys. Everything I do through the day is all basically without using a phone. I'm always basically communicating through email, through LinkedIn, through WhatsApp, through text, all these online communications. And it's just fast. I can just deal with things very, very quickly. I can get answers very, very quickly. And I can move forward with stuff very quickly. I can just know with deals whether they're going to happen or not very quickly as well. I know if a deal is a waste of time very, very quickly as well. Because if I get an offer of something and I'm pushing that out to my list of buyers and I get no interest, what does that say to me straight away? It says it's not cheap enough, or it's not a product that someone's interested in at the moment. I'm validating. What I'm doing all day long is I'm validating these offers that are coming through. I'm just getting validation. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to get some reaction on all these offers that I'm pushing out to my buyers. Or I'm waiting for my contacts who have pushed it out to their buyers. This is what we're doing. We're just getting validation on deals. Once we get validation, once we get a spark of interest, that's when we can start talking about price. Okay? Until then, it's irrelevant. The price is irrelevant. It doesn't even matter what the seller wants or what the buyer wants to pay. Until we've got interest, there's nothing we can do. There's no point trying to do anything until we get a spark of interest. We need to get some validation. So that's what we're doing all day long. What I'm doing as well this week is I'm starting to focus quite a lot on trade shows and trade exhibitions. As an inventory flipper, the trade show industry is a very big part of doing deals for us, because there's some great exhibitor contacts that we can reach out to, make contact with, and see if they've got any surplus or slow moving or liquidated inventory that they want to sell off. And now, because we're at the back end of the pandemic, there's a lot of trade shows coming up again, or they're all back on again all over the world. They're all going to take place again from like July, August onwards. So I'm heavily looking at a lot of trade show exhibition websites. I'm looking at the list of exhibitors, using a virtual assistant to build lists of exhibitors with specific trade shows, and then I'm going to be emailing those trade show exhibitors and seeing if they've got any deals that they want to do on any of their inventory they've got sitting in their warehouse. This is what I'm doing. I'm reaching out to these companies. And a lot of these exhibitors at these trade shows, a lot of them are big companies. And that means that they're going to have a lot of inventory sitting in warehouses. And, over the last 12 months, there's a good chance that they could have been actually possibly affected by the pandemic, and they might be actually sitting on quite a lot of stock that they want to get rid of. But obviously they're doing these trade shows focusing on their new products, their new ranges of products. They need people like us to take their old, unsold stock from them. So yeah, that's a big focus for me from now, onwards. I'm going to be focusing, reaching out to a lot of trade shows, trade show exhibitors across every product category and industry that I can find, in the UK, Europe, further afield as well. So that's it, guys. As usual, if you've been watching this and you like the buzz of, deals and buying and flipping in bulk, and you like the idea of doing it without touching it, seeing it, or holding it, then, this is what I do and this is what I teach. And, this is basically the new way, the new modern way of flipping inventory virtually in bulk, where you can actually just literally sit at home on your computer and run an inventory flipping business without ever thinking about buying and holding any inventory and getting stuck with any inventory. If this business resonates with you guys, I'm putting a few spots aside where you can actually book a call with me and we can take a look at what you're doing, what your goals are, and if you're a good fit for us, we're a good fit for you. And let's see if we can get you into the coaching program. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, this works, okay? It's proven. And you can do this from anywhere in the world, okay? You can buy and flip, you can make finder's fees, various ways of making money in this business. And it's completely zero risk because there's no upfront inventory costs whatsoever. If you like the idea and you want to learn more and you think, actually, Matt, I'd like to get into your program, then I'm going to put a link in the comments where you can actually book a free 30-minute strategy call with me, and we'll see if you're a good fit to get into this business. And, you know, you'll be working with me, you'll be partnering with me. I will be helping you on deals so you can get results quicker and faster, and you will be accessing my own personal network of buyer connections as well. And we do, you know, we'll do one-to-one on the deals that you find. Very, very hands-on with my students, as they'll probably tell you. And, you know, some of my students are getting some great, great results right now. So, yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed a day in the life of a inventory flipper. And I'll see you for another episode next week. Have a great weekend. Wish you all the best. Take care. I will see you very, very soon. Bye.